Greetings to the Conscious Collective. I'm a little late, a lot late, but I appreciate you guys joining me for this conversation as we try to shed new light and new awareness, awakening others' consciousness. Thank you for being part of this conversation. We're going to be talking today about becoming one with the universe with harmony mudra. Now, first, let me say that some people refer to it as hand seals, some people refer to it as mudras. Whatever you're comfortable with, I use the term mudras because most people understand or they are familiar with mudras and they're not familiar with hand seals. But these hand seals actually come from ancient, um, well, let's say past um, Chinese or Asian teachings, divine rising. But they may even go back farther than that. Um, we got a lot that we're going to talk about, but I wanted to share something with the Conscious Collective, and it's I don't know. I call it new light. It's the journey that I'm on, and I'm trying to have a better understanding of it. I come on here and I try to awaken the Conscious Collective, and I try to expand people's consciousness. And I know with the understanding that you are me and I am you, and there's only one of us in this reality, even though we think we're separate, but you are actually a mirror of me. And so sometimes I'm wondering if I'm actually teaching myself. Am I awakening myself? Because I'm learning so much about my journey and myself by sharing my understanding or things that I'm coming across with the Conscious Collective. So I get up here and I research things to talk about and research things to share, and it sends me down rabbit holes. And I mean, they're really interesting. And but I find for me that when I share it, I retain it much better. I don't know if you experience that for yourself, but when you actually communicate something, you actually are learning it much better for yourself. So I gained so much knowledge just with trying to keep expanding the consciousness of others. I feel like I'm expanding my consciousness, and I'm thinking maybe that's the whole journey. Maybe it's only me here, right? Maybe I'm just teaching me. I'm just expanding me. I know we feel separate from each other, but maybe I'm just learning from me and teaching me and expanding me. That's kind of, I get that kind of impression sometimes that I am the one learning. So we're going to talk about the but you and me and I'm you. So it's only us. It's only one of us. You know what I mean? And so even though you feel separate from me, and you may say, "Well, I'm a black woman," right? But that's just an illusion. That's really just an illusion, right? We are all just one being, right? So I'm just saying that because I'm learning so much and I want to share with you guys my journey. And that's what it's becoming more like. Because as I try to expand my YouTube channel and get back to monetization and get back to what I want to share, um, it's all becoming a journey. It's all becoming personal to me. It's all about, what I'm learning. And I don't know. I don't know. That's the kind of impression I've been getting lately. But I got a lot to share with you. We're going to be coming talking about one with the universe, the mudra, and then we're going to move on. I know I'm late, so we don't have a lot of time together, but I wanted to definitely share this with you guys. Day before yesterday, and this is all going to be one series on YouTube, so you can go through it at your leisure. But yesterday we talked about strengthening the mind with the power mudra, with the power seal or the power mudra, meditating here to strengthen your mind and focus your energy, right? It's often used when you're trying to come across a decision. I suggest that anyone that wants to make a decision about something kind of do this hand seal and kind of strengthen your mind a little bit so you can make the right decision. A lot of times we don't work our third eye as we should, all right? But this will allow you to focus more readily, right? And you'll start seeing changes in me. I'm starting to see changes and how I move and how my energy. Because my thing was that I spent a lot of time meditating. When I first came on this awakening journey and I awakened, it wasn't anything trauma, anything dramatic. I just wanted to expand myself, right? Greetings, right? I wanted to expand myself. And so I started to do some research and start to open my mind to some things, right? And then I went down this journey and found knowledge and found expansion. And I was able to actually, and I was, who has T-Mobile? If you have T-Mobile, put it in the chat, because I have a question, right? So I was able to kind of expand my mind and move to 5D consciousness, even before I understood what 5D consciousness was. I moved to 5D consciousness, and it was beautiful. It almost felt like I was in heaven. I was really enjoying my life on a level that is hard to describe. But I felt myself slipping away from humanity. And was your T-Mobile phone down yesterday? Was T-Mobile down yesterday? And I felt myself slipping away. And I made a conscious effort to come back to 3D reality. And greetings. Was your if you had T-Mobile and it was down yesterday or the day before yesterday, whenever it was down, let me know. Was it down the day before yesterday or yesterday? Right? They said it was a nationwide outage. I didn't experience it, but I want to use that to expand on something, right? And so I made a conscious effort to come back as part of my Starseed journey to work with raising, people's consciousness, getting them to experience 5D as I experienced it, come out of 3D. If you don't understand this, the difference between 3D reality, which we are in now, and 5D, I feel bad for you. Right? All right. Greetings to my conscious sisters and brothers. Thank you. I know I'm a little late. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna kind of rush through this a little bit, right? To get back on schedule. I don't know, my stomach was hurting earlier, but I'm better now. Alchemize that energy. And so I made a conscious decision to come back and work in 3D. And so I've been working in 3D, but I don't really feel like I'm actually in 3D. I feel like I'm still separated a little bit in 5D because I hear the storms and a hurricane. They had a tornado in Chicago. Phones were out. There's earthquakes in China. I'm not experiencing any of this stuff. I'm like, what is going on? I'm not experiencing anything like that, And I think a lot of this is, some people are catching hell out here, not just economically and financially, but they're losing a lot of things and they're catching hell. But that's, I think, because they choose to be in hell, they choose to not open their hearts and not raise their higher consciousness. It's about selfishness. It's about me. And I think that causes you to experience a lot of things. I'm not experiencing hot weather. it's beautiful weather to me. It's hot, but it's beautiful. I like it hot though. I like it hot. All right. It's gonna get a lot hotter though. It's gonna get a lot hotter. We're gonna be entering 125, 150 degree because the reptilians want the planet hotter. But that's a whole nother subject. I'm gonna try not to go down any rabbit holes, but today we're gonna be talking about the Harmony Mudra, tapping into your gifts and your power, and how I'm teaching myself. I'm coming to the realization and understanding that I'm really am educating myself, as you are versions of me. You are just versions of me. That's the understanding I'm coming to. And I'm going to explain to, as we go through this talk today, why I've come to that conclusion that it's only one person here. It's only me. I don't mean that that you're not you, but you are just a version of me. And so I thought I was sharing consciousness with you, but I'm coming to the understanding that I'm sharing consciousness with myself, right? And I'm expanding my own consciousness because I'm getting so much out of what I'm learning. And I do believe that a few of us are going to move into the ascended master area. And even when I was doing the training that I did yesterday, the Braham Mark, what is it called again? The practice study I was doing with the collective, the Brahma Karmas. Let me look it up again. I don't want to mispronounce it. Hold on. So many things I learned. Brahma Kumaris. Brahma Kumaris. I was sharing that with the collective, but it's just part of my journey. And I'm just the Brahma Kumaris, yes. And I'm just going to keep expanding on it. I hope you guys are getting it because I'm really getting it. I'm really getting it, right? So we talked about power strengthening your mind. Then we worked on the energy direction, focusing. Focusing the energy, right? Calling your power back to you, right? When you feel scattered, bringing that power back to you. I posted yesterday. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I posted the day before yesterday. I wonder what the other me's. I wonder what the other me's are doing in other dimensions, because I understand I'm a multidimensional being, and I was just curious to what the rest of me are doing right now. We all are probably working towards that one central oneness. All right, everything is oneness. Okay, but today we're going to be talking about the harmony seal, right? And that seal, make sure I get that seal. It's a little bit like this. Okay. All right. This seal, all right, we're going to be talking about, and I want to share with you guys. So let's bring up a video really quick. If you want to see all the seals in action, I played the video coming in. I'll play it again. So this one would be the power seal. This is the energy. And this is the harmony one we're working with today. Okay. Right. This is ancient Eastern technology. I would almost say it goes back farther than that. It allows you to control reality by closing circuits in your body, and we'll have a discussion about it a little bit later, how it actually works, right? And then I want to have another discussion towards the end on something else that is happening with me. I want to share with the collective, okay? So that's the seal we're actually working with, and I'm gonna bring this up. Or maybe I'll bring this up after we have this video.
For you guys to get a better understanding of mudras. Your hands are meridians. This is where energy flows to. This is your electrical circuit board. Your fingertips are the circuits for the brain.
Now you have to understand that you're an energetic being, and your hands are where we close our circuits at. That's why we're focusing on this energy, on how to do these moves. And it actually affects your reality when you know how to do it.
I'm just going to start off by saying the exact way that these all go does not matter. What matters is you can have the idea, so you can go through them, feel the ones that you like, feel the ones that feel right, that you think your body needs. I'm just giving you the layout of different ways that you can do it. Power, energy, harmony, healing, intuition, and awareness is all basically the same thing. As long as you're touching these circuits together, you're going to fire off the electrical charge to your brain, because your fingertips are all circuits to your brain. You're trying to get your brain to function properly. The power mudra, you've also seen Andrew Tate do something similar for knowledge. You can have the bottom fingers on the outside, or you can do as they show here, clasp them to the inside.
I actually think he's doing the power mudra wrong. That's not the power mudra, but oh yes it is. I don't know. Oh, he started with the power mudra. That's what threw me off. He's actually starting with the power mudra.
Have it pointed. Just like that. The energy mudra, it looks intimidating, but it's really not. Just like, have my fingers crossed.
Now you can refer to these as seals, SEALS, or mudras. Okay, just whichever way you feel better understanding it.
You can cross both of them like that. Just have the tips touching. Remember, it's the tips that are the circuit board, so you want all the tips to touch. So it looks like that. Energy mudra. The harmony mudra is a little different. It's a little harder, but if you see the tops, these three are out and touching. So these ones just cross under, and then these ones close. So you get a little crisscross action. These are not tucked. It's just the two in the middle that are tucked.
I don't know. I don't like the way he does his, right? The way I do mine is, right, you want to, it's like these two fingers are out, okay? And these are crossed in. So they're more like that. Do we have the same shape, right? So this, oh, I'm doing a harmony. Which mudra is he doing? Is he doing the harmony one?
So it looks like that. That one's a little difficult. It's going to take a little practice moving your fingers into place. Harmony mudra.
Yeah, that's
healing
different
mudra,
from the way I've learned.
These two are out, and the pinky. Then you're going to cross these guys and tuck the other two behind it. So you get a little crisscross action. It looks like that. Healing mudra. Intuition mudra, all clasped, all crossed. You can have your thumbs crossed, have them forward, it doesn't matter. Like I said, this is just to give you guys a basic knowledge and an outline of ways to put your hand positionings so that you can practice it during your meditation, and whatever feels right in your meditation, go with it. Things change, you find a different one that you feel goes with the flow of your meditation. That's all that I'm here to do. Awareness mudra, intertwined in. You have them to the top like that or tucked. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. I'm just giving you guys the building blocks of the hand position for the mudras so that you can figure it out on your own. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Just as long as you could flip through these and figure out what feels right during your meditation.
Hang in there, guys. We're getting to something. We're getting to something. I just wanted to share this with you.
Then you're on the right path. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful.
All right, let's take a let's backtrack just a little bit because it's something else I wanted to share. So let's backtrack just a little bit. You know, we haven't did our affirmations yet, and I definitely want to do that with the collective. We should have done it coming in, but we had a late start. So I want to go over the affirmations really quickly. Okay. As I said, you should always check your chakras in the morning. You should always do a body scan. You should spend some time meditating before you grab your phone. And as a side note from your phone, right? I think we can learn a lot by interaction with technology, learn a lot about ourselves if we are actually open to it, right? I'll give you an example. If on your phone you're receiving, and I'm going to just say it, foolishness, distractions, that's what you're asking for. The algorithm is actually giving you what you respond to, what you pay attention to. And this is a lesson. Everything in life is a lesson. What you pay attention to is what you receive. And that's the lesson when you're dealing with your phone or even with the world. Stand back and look at what you keep getting from your algorithm while you're on your phone. If you're getting a bunch of violence, if you're getting a bunch of conspiracies, if you're getting a bunch of anything, it's what you're projecting out. And it's the same lesson in your life. right? When you project out things, you receive that back. And the phones actually show you that. The problem I have with is it's actually using your energy too, right? Not only the energy that you give observing and watching, right? But I mean, there people put a lot of work in little videos, a lot of I mean, they have scenes, they have other people, they have cameras, they're editing for a minute video. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy, okay, that you're putting into that. And you're not getting, what are you getting back from that? You get a like, you get a share, you get to feed your lower ego. So you have to be observant of these tools and allow these tools to advance you and raise your consciousness and not you go down to their level and they use your energy and they take your energy. So if you're giving your energy to a phone for likes and you're giving your energy to a job for food and clothing and shelter, what energy is left for your own personal development? And that's the problem that we're having. But you can get a lot from the phone. And if you search out the information or opening to it, it can help you expand your mind. I mean, the things I am finding and learning, I'm going to share with you probably tomorrow. We don't have time for it today, but it is an amazing process. So if you're getting a bunch of garbage from your phone, you probably are projecting a bunch of garbage out, right? That's what you're looking at. That's what you're receiving. So as you check your chakras, we know what our chakras are. We're working with our hand chakras, right? So we want to go through the I am, which is the strongest affirmation you can say out loud. I am the great I am. Fuels your body, fuels your energy. It gives you presence. So if you say I am prosperous and abundant as you work through your chakra, so we're starting with the root chakra, which is the I am, right? I am prosperous and abundant. Moving up to that sacral chakra, we're going to say I feel prosperous and abundant, right? Moving to that solar plexus chakra right above the navel is I do things that bring me prosperity and abundance, right? I do things that bring me prosperity and abundance, fueling that, right? Moving up to that heart chakra, we're going to say I love being prosperous and abundant. We are affirming some type of positive feeling around I love being prosperous and abundance. Moving to our throat chakra, we're going to say I speak prosperity and abundance over my life. I only talk about prosperity and abundance. I only talk about how well I'm doing. I only talk about how good things continue to happen for me. We're bringing that energy back into our aura, right? Our whole being becomes one of prosperity and abundance when we say, I see. I only see prosperity and abundance. I don't see lack. I don't see suffering. I don't see, not having enough. I only see prosperity and abundance flowing to me, right? And then I know I'm connected with prosperity and abundance. I'm connected with the highest form of prosperity and abundance, right? I want to kind of affirm that each time we come together collective, so we are walking in the right energy and that we are putting ourselves in the right present. So if you only stay for that, right? I'm going to try to do it as soon as we come in and we're going to get it out the way. I just go back to these practices and these routines because they help me grow and I hope they're helping you grow. All right. And stay in the right mind frame. So let's get back to the harmony hand mudra, right? Or the harmony hand center. This allows you to be one with the universe. So if you can practice along with me, right? You want to take these two fingers and extend them out. The two are crossed in the middle. See? It's not very hard to do, right? And then you place them close to your body, okay? Just close to your body. And this allows you, right? As you do this, you want to say the mantra. I forgive all injuries, offenses, and slights, past and present. You cannot move upward with heavy lower density energy. Okay. You got to let go of things, right? So you have to forgive all injuries, slights, even the small things, right? Past and present, right? To release yourself to moving up to your higher state of consciousness. Now, the practical use of this is that you find yourself welcome in any place and you make friends easily. So when you're going out and you want to touch grass and you want to connect with new people, and sometimes you feel a little isolated, just meditating with this hand seal allows you to make friends easily. Now, how does that work? Say you're applying for a job, right? Most people hire people they like. All right. Most people get jobs. If you have people who have the same qualifications and the same skills, right, they usually go with the one they think they're going to get along with best, right? And so you want to put yourself in a place of making a friend very easily, right? When I went to Mexico, because I move in this energy, right? I came across, and it's funny when you go someplace, right? You think you're American and everyone kind of vibes with you. No, no, right? And so I'm in Mexico. I don't speak any Spanish to make it any difference, right? And so I'm trying to communicate in English at this counter, trying to get the chip for my phone for my GPS because it's another country. And if I don't speak Spanish, they just walk away, right? I couldn't, if I was trying to communicate and they just walked away, right? And it's funny, I saw something in Family Dollar or whatever one of them budget stores are, where this lady didn't speak Spanish and the customer didn't speak English, and she's trying to pay for something, and the lady said, well, you need another dime, right? And so the Spanish lady hands her a quarter, and the look they gave each other was hilarious. I still think about that. That was really funny the way they gave each other. And I know that feeling, right? Because when I was in Mexico, they would ask for a certain amount, and I would just hold the money to them like, I don't know what this is. Take what you need. So when you're in another country, if you don't rock with them, they don't really care. They just keep it moving. They ain't got time to play with you. They just as rude as the people that you come across here that speak English, right? You know how they are. You know how customer service is in some of these places, stores and restaurants. And so, but I found this guy was staring at me, him and his girlfriend were staring at me, and I'm trying to communicate. And he just steps up and says, he says, I speak a little English. And I say, you speak a little English? And he's like, yes, I speak a little English, right? And he was able to facilitate the transaction with me, and became, when I was there, we went out every day. He took me to lunch. We just connected because I constantly practice what I preach. I constantly work in this energy, right? And so you're able to connect with people more easily, right? You're able to move more freely in this plane. And this is the thing I want to get to. As things start happening, and they're happening, if you don't see them happening in the 3D, right? You're lying, right? Because a lot of things are going on, right? I mean, the planet's getting hotter. There's earthquakes. There's a lot of things happening, right? You're going to need to be able to step into your power. This is not about you trying to be better than other people. This is about you stepping into your power so you can maneuver and you can handle the things that are coming your way, right? That you can operate on another level, right? And I'm going to get into it a little bit more in a minute, right? But this is what we're trying to do, is to kind of give you the tools and and awaken your gift and your ability. Because remember, everyone's awake now. So you're awake. Now you are beginning the day. You're up, right? Spiritually, you're awake. And now you're like, okay, what's my purpose? What's my mission? And what do I have to work with? Now you have to go to class. You have to go to school. You have to learn, right, how to tap back into your true self, your higher version of yourself, so you can operate in the space that you need to operate in. Everyone has a purpose and a mission. You come here to do something, right? And so you need skill sets to do that. So I'm trying to aid you in being able to tap into so many different parts of you that you have forgotten, right? It mainly lies in the understanding first that the feminine energy holds a lot of that creation energy, right? And having a good relationship with that is going to aid you in your journey to being your highest version of yourself. So as I say that, right, and I hope you guys are keeping up with me, I want to share this with you. And you may think this is a little strange, but I want you to just follow along with me. Understand what I'm trying to do here. Crazy skill. Crazy skill. I don't know what ninja training he's practicing for, because ninjas didn't actually exist the way people in the movies played them out to be. There were assassins who were ninjas, but not the way the movies acted out. But look what happens when you practice something over and over again. There is no limit what you can do physically, mentally, or spiritually if you want to do it. There's no limit to it, okay? This guy's actually jumping up with a weight and catching his balance on this, I guess, this little unsecured rail. Even if the rail was locked down, right, and it wasn't moving, this still would be very hard to do. Some people would even say impossible. And then he's carrying a weight to do that on, right? So I just want to kind of show this to kind of illustrate my next point. And I call it new light. And I'm going to call on my conscious sister, Nicole, because she kind of triggered a thought in me. And we're going to talk about it, right? We were talking, I wish her a happy birthday. You know, I really don't really go into that, but you know, we are all growing and we are learning. So I was calling to wish her a happy birthday. I hope she had a great birthday yesterday. I hope it was very you know, fulfilling or rewarding, or you know, whatever she enjoyed, you know, doing. I think that we should celebrate our lives every day, and to just focus on one day. It's just my thing about it, right? But we decided, because we are rewriting the way we think and the way that we project ourselves in the world, right? What was the word that we came up instead of happy birthday? It was, what was the word again? I should have wrote it down, right? What was the word that we came up with, sister? And you got to understand the power of words and why you need to kind of watch what you say or re-say things. So we were talking about birthday. I call it being portal into this reality. You come through your mother, who is a portal, and she bring, and we would call it, oh, happy dense day. I'm gonna write that down. So I don't know if you guys get it, but we call it happy dense day. It's the day that you became dense, the day that you left your higher consciousness and came into this reality. Is the day that you became dense in your lower survival chakras, your separation, your scarcity, your defensiveness, right? Which is your lower dense chakras, right? So I think I'm going to use it. All right. Happy Dense Day. I like it. It resonates with me. I am suggesting that the collective, when we change words, we don't say amen. We are renouncing the patriarchy, and we are leaning more into the matriarch. So we don't say amen. We say she, right, right. And won't she do it? Right, right. And look at goddess. Look at goddess. So I wanted to add that in our vocabulary too, because we are becoming something different. If you've been messing with me for a while, you can feel it. I can feel it. We are becoming something different. And so we want to change the way we communicate. And so I wanted to wish my sister a happy, and this is the word that she came up with. She comes up with a lot of good insights and a lot of knowledge. And I'm constantly encouraging her. I'm here for her if she wants to kind of start this whole process of sharing it with the community and sharing it with the world, right? All right. We're trying to lighten up. We're trying to lighten up. So happy Dense Day to my beloved sister who had a dense day yesterday. I know a lot of people say your revolution around the sun or whatever term they use, right? I like the word dense day. Happy Dense Day, okay? Because that's the day you became dense, right? You were an energetic being, you were living a life, and now you are dense in this reality. So happy Dense Day, right? So I want to talk about new light. I want to talk about new understanding, right? Yeah, happy solar return. I never liked that. So happy solar return. The sun comes up every day, right? So I don't know what that means. Solar return, solar system coming around. But I like happy Dense Day. Happy Dense Day. I'm going to try to remember that. When someone tells me they're having a birthday, happy Dense Day. Happy Dense Day. Happy Dense Day. And they're like, you always on that shit, Baba. You always own that shit, Baba. Yeah. Yeah, don't come in here with that spiritual shit. Here I come in here with that spiritual shit. I'm always going to be on that, all right? Because I'm going to talk to you about new light. What's been happening with me and what I feel that you mean to me, right? I think you're just a reflection of me. I'm coming to an understanding that no one exists but me. And I think that you are just a reflection of me. I know you think you're separate, but you me. And I'm sharing with me how to expand my consciousness, how we become one again, right? So this is a term called aura farming. It's a slang that's used to look cool or confident or impressive, trying to gain aura points or boost one's social status. The term combines aura, which means cool, which farming means grinding at something. And I was listening to this term, a lot of the youngest say that, they say that online a lot, aura farming or aura points or things like that, trying to level up, right? So I was looking at that, right? Like we became flesh, we became dense. And then they also had a term called look maxing. It is an online trend for self-improvement, practicing focusing, or maxing your physical appearance with grooming, facial exercise, and extreme procedures. So aura farming and look maxing is about improving yourself. Aura maxing, the process of maximizing your aura, so your presence can be felt before it's seen, or your present is stronger. I said president. Your present is stronger. All this is about self-improvement. I kind of got down the road of God leveling up or God leveling, right? God tiering. The absolute highest level quality skill or powering you're surpassing all others. We're on a journey. At least I feel I'm on a journey. And I think you're part of that journey as a reflection of this, is that we are God leveling up. We are God tiering. First, understanding that we have that we are gods, that we have God traits, the spark of God resides in us, right? We need to be on a journey of God leveling up or God tiering, becoming the highest version of ourselves, leveling up with personal growth. And that's what this, it is more than just the knowledge of yourself. It is the ability to operate in that area of God. This is why we go through our mudras. This is why we understand our chakras. This is why we learn how to call forth entities when we were going through summoning Samsaboza. This is how we understand where the portal to the divine comes from through the feminine energy, right? This is God tearing up, okay? And that's the process that really led me down this rabbit hole of becoming my highest version of myself. I see that everything I study, everything I'm learning to do is about God tearing up. And I'm becoming more than what I was. It was not my intention to become a God or to operate in that God space. That was not my intention when I started this journey. I had intention of just expanding my consciousness and being more open to things, more knowledgeable about things, right? I have this appetite just to learn as much as I can learn. But as I learned, I started to learn things. I found that my learning steered towards being the highest version of myself, the most powerful version of myself. Not so I can dominate people and not so that I can control the world, right? But just to be just to follow the natural progression of evolution, okay? Right? Remember, if we listen to science, right, we came from dragging our knuckles and living in trees, or even if you don't accept that premise, right, you know you were less developed than you are now. And so the natural process of evolution is to become more and to become a more advanced self. And so we're doing that now through, and let me back up. Your body, your physical body is the most advanced machine on the planet. It is made in a way that you can do things a lot of other animals cannot do. Just having a thumb makes you 99% more mechanically advanced than any other species on the planet except the crab. The crab is the most advanced one, but having a thumb puts you up there, okay? So we have kind of maxed out the physical part of our growth. We kind of maxed out the actual mechanical part, and we're moving more into the mental and more into the spiritual part, right? Because even the mental being the bridge from the physical to the consciousness is just a bridge. Your mind is just a bridge, right? From what is not known to what is known, right? When you lose consciousness at night, which they have labeled dreaming or sleeping, right? Your consciousness is actually returning or going somewhere. You're still actively you. Even if you're not physically moving the mechanical part of you, you're laying in bed and you're slobbing and you're feeling on yourself or whatever you do while you sleep. Your actual mind, your consciousness is going off somewhere, exploring things. And so we understand there's another version of us, right? There's another part of us, and we're moving into that. And by learning how to operate this reality, learning how to master energy, learning how to control things, right? We actually are evolving into higher states of being, higher states of consciousness, right? When I try to share with the divine feminine that they are a portal, they have a portal. And this is what you need to understand, right? Nothing exists outside of you, right? When you're looking at, say, aliens or spheres, as my sister was looking at, spheres or spaceships, those are not outside of you, those are inside of you, right? You are larger inside than the outside. You are the universe. That's why they call it the universe, right? They call it the universe because you are the universe. You are what you're looking at. And you think you're observing the outside, but reality, your brain is making things up because your eyes have never seen an electromagnetic wave. That's not how you see. This camera that we're looking at works on electromagnetic waves. It takes a light wave and it transforms it into an electrical signal, and then it sends it back and transforms it back into a light wave that hits my eyes. That's not how my brain sees this light, though. My brain sees the light as an electrochemical response to the stimuli. So when I see light, it turns into a chemical, right? Like you pour water, like you pour any liquid, it turns into a chemical in your brain, and that's how you perceive your reality. And you're actually making up a lot of it. You're making up about 70, 80% of it. And the rest of it is just stuff that we just agree on. If we agree, right, that this is a blue color, then all of us will agree that it's a blue color. Okay? That's just things that we agree on, right? The rest of the stuff is just made up. So if you understand that, then you understand that you are more consciousness than you are actual physical. And as we move into that, what does that entail us to do? What does that enable us to do? That allows us to be able to manipulate things, to control things, to operate on a higher plane of consciousness, which I like to call God leveling or God leveling up. I really like to kind of get into what things mean, right? When people say, well, you're not God, and what do you actually mean by that? And what am I actually saying that I am God? I'm saying that I'm God leveling up, right? I'm operating on a higher consciousness, right, than I used to operate. It's not even comparing to other people. It is comparing to my past, to my present, to my past, right? That as I was a child, I spake and I ate and I did things as children do. But when I became a man and an adult, I did not no longer do children things. So when you're God leveling up, when you're becoming your highest version of yourself, right? When you are increasing your personal growth, right? You don't operate the way that you used to operate. Now, again, this is not a comparison to some people who still behave in their childlike states. And religion is a childlike state. Religion wants you to believe things that are not possible in the way we understand physics and reality, right? You go back to God can do all things. Well, God can't make me understand that, because that goes against the whole rules that were set out against our all the rules that were laid in place about how our reality operate. Only so much volume can enter a space in our reality. So to tell me everything on the planet went into a small ship, right? You need to explain that a little bit more to me. Was this ship multidimensional? Right? Did the ship exist outside of reality? We need better understanding of that. But that better understanding comes from being from a higher place of consciousness, being into a higher state of being. And that's what's been happening with me lately. That's what's been happening with me lately, that I'm starting to think that this whole experiment of communicating to the conscious collective is actually me communicating to me. Me talking to me giving me understanding of our highest version. And I want to continue this process. Just as, personal growth should be a journey and it's never a destination. I really like what's going on here. I really like that I am becoming a higher version of me. I don't want to be egotistical about it. I don't want to be in my ego about it. I don't want to be in my, being grandiose about it or delusional about it. But I do know my understanding is a lot farther than when I began. And I think that's how you actually get to God mode. I think there's individuals and people operating on this plane of existence that have came to the understanding of how to unlock God mode. How to level up or reach God tier, right? And I can't believe that this is the limit of how far we're supposed to go. I can't believe that we have reached the pinnacle of our evolution. I think it's going to decline for a lot of people because they don't make the right choices and they have to go through a certain process to get to a higher state. Those that actually do submit and surrender to the natural flow, the natural evolution, like say water's coming up, right? And you're trying to push it down, right? And it's still gushing up, right? The thing is that when you allow it to flow and it comes up through you, you become a higher version of yourself. You start to understand things a lot more clearer. You start to see people deeper. I mean, the point that when I started working on my chakras, right, and my third eye opened, and I realized I could see people as energies, not dark energies or well, they were showing up as crystals. Everyone was showing up as crystals, and they were showing up as just sparkling crystals that had a lot of different sides to them. So I was not only seeing the person, I was seeing that person was a mother. I was seeing it from being a mother. That person was a sister, or that person worked at the company, was an employee. I was actually seeing it from that perspective, and that gave me a holistic view of people, right? And I thought that was amazing. But to realize that person is me and I am that person is a whole nother level of understanding. A whole nother level of understanding. And that, did I come here to save you, or did I come here to save me? It's mind blowing. Am I saving you, or am I saving me? Because you are me in reality, in the true understanding of that, right? We're taught in this plane of existence that we're separate beings, but we understand that was actually something that was intentionally done through some field crystal of us being separated. You being made female, me being made male, white, black, all that was done to allow us to journey back into that understanding of oneness with each other. So I really want to ask the collective, how do you feel, or are you on a journey of leveling up, or God leveling, or are you in God mode? Are you operating? And what does that mean? I'm just now actually starting to incorporate a lot of the things I've known and I've learned. When I started teaching about the 9 hand seals, I knew that. I studied this stuff, I mean, a long time ago. I was going to use it to share. Can you see this? A long time ago, I was going to use it to share, and I have shared it in workshops and different venues, but I found that it does the most good with me. That it gives me, I guess, power, right? It gives me a certain, it's like when I started hoodoo, right? And I started to learn hoodoo. And when I first came across, I thought hoodoo and voodoo was the same thing, right? That's a lower understanding. I thought they were the same thing. And they're not the same thing, all right? Voodoo is a religion, and hoodoo is a spiritual practice of bringing things together to have an effect on something. Quantum mechanics, right? And so I understand they were separate. And so as I started doing hoodoo, I knew I was very adept at it, very good at it, but I didn't really want to get into it because it fed my lower chakras. But as I did my spiritual work, I'm able to incorporate it a lot of times in things I want to do. I bring that hoodoo into a lot of things. If I want to make something happen, I want to bring some type of financial change or some type of income gain, I know I can tap into hoodoo, but now we're going into a whole esoterical experience of being able to control weather, of being able to cause things to move, to use your mind, to cause reality to shift, to change perceptions, right? Case in point, we have what's called daylight saving time, right? So in daylight saving time, we switch the clocks back and forth. So if I was to call my, Vundun is the correct spelling of voodoo. Voodoo is actually spelled incorrect. It's not spelled Voodoo. It's spelled Vodun. So those are still the different. That's the correct spelling, but they still hoodoo is spelled Hoodoo. And I guess because they sound alike, they get confused, right? But they're two different practices. Now in voodoo, you can do a lot of things that are assimilated to in hoodoo, but hoodoo is not a religion, right? It's an understanding of how the world works on a quantum mechanical level, right? Voodoo is more of a religion. They have laws and they have things and deities that they recognize, okay? So that being said, right, let's look at daylight saving time as trying to understand this, right? In daylight saving time, I call my sister. She tells me it is an hour ahead and she operates in that energy, right? I think it's an hour behind and I operate in that energy. So what does that mean? If she eats dinner at 6, right, and I call her, it's not time for her dinner. If I eat dinner at 6 and my time says 6, it's time for my dinner. So we operate in those different energies depending on what we think time is. But they want to change the time to just everyone has a central time. So there will no longer be different time zones. I don't know how they're going to do that with California, because if you tell me it's 9 o'clock in California and the sun is still out, right, that's going to really mess with my head. But nonetheless, they want to go back to a central time zone where everything operates on the same time. So that means we will be in the same energy space. When it's 6 with her, it's 6 with me. We're both eating dinner. See how the reality has changed because the time has been manipulated? That's a very simple way of understanding. So when you're learning how to do hand seals, there is one for manipulating time. And when you do that one, you actually affect time. And that's a very simple one. It's this one. We're going to get to this one, right? This is the hand mudra for affecting time and space. And when you're meditating and you're actually focused and doing the mantra, right, you can slow time up or speed time. You can speed time up or slow time down. And that's very simple to understand too, because when you're having fun, time flies. When you're doing something that you dislike, time seems to drag. Time is only a perception, and it's something that can be actually manipulated very easily. And so part of this is gaining this understanding and this consciousness about our reality, that we can affect our reality, right? You don't move the wind with your mind. You become the wind by feeling it around you. And you're able to manipulate it by feeling it. So it's so many different ways that this higher understanding goes, how you God level up, how you become God tier, right? How you actually step into your gifts and your abilities that you are going to desperately need, right? And some people are going to really master this. Some people are going to really understand this, right? Because they are going to be the ones, the new shamans, the new teachers, the new leaders that are going to help those that are willing to come out of that dark disk reality of 3D and move into a higher state of consciousness. They're going to need guides to bring them through that, right? And these guys are going to have enormous amount of powers or miracles they can perform, right? It is said that Christ came into this reality with the third eye open, but a lot of people believe that Jesus actually traveled to Egypt during the missing years that he's not in the Bible. He traveled to Egypt, he traveled to India, and he traveled to so many places learning these secret gifts and ability. They're no longer going to be that secret now. They're really available to you now if you're willing to do the work and really to do the practices and become part of that higher understanding. All right. It's not as mysterious. You don't have to go see a guru on a mountain. You don't have to travel to ancient Egypt, right? So much knowledge is being permeated. I don't know who's putting the knowledge out there. When I was on TikTok, I was learning so much. And you see that TikTok has destroyed itself because the knowledge was becoming too, it was actually expanding too many consciousness at once. And now you don't hear nothing about TikTok. It's not the tool that it was, right? It's a bunch of, it's one step above OF, really. It's one step above OF. If you really understand that your energy is the most vital thing on the planet, and you see people using it all the time, but you're not using it. You see people, your labor is used to benefit other people, right? Your attention is used to make other people rich, right? When you're watching this, right, YouTube is throwing a commercial on here, right? And they're actually getting paid to advertise, and they're gaining the wealth, right? And then they deny me the benefit of it, which is diabolical. When they demonetized me, they were still showing my videos and putting commercials on it, and they were getting the money for that, but they wasn't paying me any more for that. So I get it, and I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at myself if I don't step into my own gifts and my own abilities. If I don't start to do things that benefit me, right? If I don't move in energy that helps me, you can't be mad at other people. You can't get mad at other people. You live in a system where you don't possess anything. You under this illusion that some rich billionaire is going to help you out and that you own something, when actually people who don't tap into their energy and operate in God-like mode don't own anything. They can't do anything. And it's not because they don't have the ability, they just don't know. And a lot of times they're so distracted that they can't hear the words coming out my mouth. They can't do the practices. They can't focus enough of their energy. And that's the thing about it. When you go to work, you are made. I mean, I know you half-assing it at the job. I know you half-assing it, but you are still focusing some energy on completing the tasks they want you to complete. And these tasks make them a lot of money. And they may throw you a bone here and there and keep you in struggle mode, right? But when someone's offering you the opportunity to operate as a God, to God-like levels, to maneuver, to be in that God mode, through self-study, through self-reflection, right? And you deny that because you are distracted by whatever the latest thing is going on. It's a purpose to that. This is not going to be as sexy and as exciting as some of the things that fuel your lower chakras. You know, some that keeps you in struggle mode, some that keeps you excited, right? You move past the heart and you move more into a loving environment. That's not as exciting as banging somebody out, right? Loving people and love is not exciting as the physical act is, right? But what's more fulfilling is the emotional connection, right? Because after the physicality fades, right? Or even the physicality can be enhanced when there's love involved. If there's not love involved, that physical desire actually dwindles. But when there's love involved, it gets more intense. It gets more elevating. But that's not often as exciting as seeing someone across a club and they stimulating your lower chakras. All right. They're stimulating your lower your lower energies, right? Or seeing somebody physical appearance, and all you feel is a lower heat rising, right? It takes a lot more to alchemize that into understanding the person, hearing the person, and loving the person for who they are, which is not as often as exciting as that physical part. And I get that. But where's the reward at? Where's the reward at? The reward is in the more meaningful, higher consciousness connection with that person. There's a practice called the soul stare, right? That when you do it correctly, you actually soul connect or soul bind a person's to you. And that is a very powerful spiritual practice. I learned that at a spiritual festival, right? And that has enabled the only person I've done it with to us to have a connection beyond time and space, right? And even though we are not in that in proximity or haven't communicated in a while, we still have that connection. That is the power of spiritual practices. So when I'm talking about God leveling up, right, I am not talking about the ego version of being God, right? You talk to some people who want gifts and abilities, they want them for their egos, right? I'm talking about being the highest version of yourself, a more aligned version of who you truly are, all right? I shared with my sister, I'm saying this before I left, I shared with my sister that I asked, what my higher self name is. And I suggest that you guys go through this practice too, to before you go to sleep, ask that your higher name be revealed, right? And I got a response back of Metatron, right? Now, when I researched it, right, Metatron was some belief systems say Metatron was actually Enoch. Enoch was somebody that walked with God. God revealed a lot of things to Enoch, and Enoch became an angel. So we understand that angels are actually processes. They're actually mechanical programs, right? So Enoch, being human, became Metatron. And so the way I understand it is Metatron's consciousness, I'm endued with Metatron's consciousness because God likes me best. I hate to tell you. I don't know what it is or how it works, right? Right? But there's energy that favors other energy. If God is a consciousness, I guess some consciousness rock with it, okay? And so being that energy, because I understood I was the energy of a blue ray starseed come here to help raise consciousness, but then turn around and went native. And so now I am more connected to the guidance of this planet. And so as I go through this process, right, Metatron's consciousness has been endued to connect me more higher with my higher self. So does it make any sense? It barely makes any sense to me. But I am grateful that I have the opportunity to share with the collective because I want you guys to start the same process of understanding the highest version of yourself. Don't get stuck in just learning how to do things, right? Understand that these things enable you to become godlike. That's interesting too, that Metatron's color was blue and that I'm a blue-ray starseed. So it's all working out some kind of crazy way, right? I'm still coming to a lot of understanding of it. I'm just going to be just full disclosure. I'm still growing. I'm still expanding. I'm still learning. It's all the pieces are still being connected, but I'm inviting you on this journey because like I said, you are me, I'm me, and I'm you, right? I want us all to walk into this power. I want us all to be able to move from one place to another without going through the middle space. You know what I mean? To be places without going through the middle space, right? To transfigure ourselves into our higher states of being, to become our highest versions of ourselves. So tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, hopefully, God willing, right? We're going to be working on another mudra, the healing one, the healing of self and others, to gain you that gift, right? If you could, just try it. If you are in this space, right, try some of the things that you actually are picking up in this conversation, because some of you guys are here, you're here for a reason. Try to gain some of this knowledge and just try it, right? Follow me on IG, right? Let's connect in so many ways and try these things. Don't just go to your job. Don't just go to your entertainment, right? Like I barely watch any TV now because I can predict it all now. I see all through it. It's a distraction. It's no mystery, right? It's no grand reveal of anything, right? And that's a drawback because I understand. I look like Tyler Perry, really quick. Tyler Perry knows the formula. He knows has some of the worst writing, worst plots, right? But you put some naked men up there, right? And I'm flipping, the times I have flipped through the channel, I'm like, why the men don't have clothes on? Because that's what his market is. They want naked men, all right? And so he knows the formula, right? He's disparaging to Black women. He's disparaging to Madeirs and our older matriarch system. So I don't really appreciate that, but he knows the formula. But when you understand the formula too, you too become powerful. You too become a god. You too are able to achieve anything that you desire, right? So tomorrow we are going to continue our learning. I am grateful for the opportunity that you guys let me express this today. I really wanted to share this. We may get more into some more exciting things, but I really I'm excited about what's going on with me. I'm happy about it. All right. And I'm grateful for it. And I want this for you. I really want this for you. That's why I'm trying to share this with you. I really want this for you. So if it resonates with you, please take it, use it, let it aid you in your life journey. If it did not resonate with you, it was not meant for you, leave it where it's at. Don't do like my man and say that's 6 minutes of time I can't get back. It took you that long to realize that this doesn't work for you, right? It's not for everybody, all right? I'm not for everybody, right? But I'm always grateful for those that allow me to share my perspective and my point of views to help them in their life journey, all right? So I'm thankful for that. I want to wish everyone love, happiness, wealth, success, and all great things. And remember, I do this because I truly love you.